to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
Last show before Christmas.
Last show before Christmas.
I was doing something like that earlier in the kitchen,
And it didn't work.
I was not appreciated.
That song I always put last shitmas.
It had to do.
In this-
what
in
was
the-
it? Oh, yeah. Hashtag I love you, wife. Jax was in the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and her and Venus and Xander were gonna start making banana bread, and Jax is fucking off in the kitchen. Was right in the way
With a paper towel sticking out
and
his ass.
she just short. Yeah, she almost got a kneecap. He almost got a kneecap in his butthole. Oh no!
What just happened?
Hi. I'm recording already.
Never mind. Hi, Jim.
Hello. Good day to you. No, good day. I said good day, sir.
And then we were like, I almost put my knee in your butthole. And then I started to make a song out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And that was not appreciated.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like, I'll put that knee in your butthole. It didn't belong there,
That song,
but that's where it went.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
Yes.
And then the very next day, you gave it away.
Right.
Like, how does that work? I have issues with this lyrics.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like,
We could break that down. Like, what
I
do you
gave
mean?
you my heart and, like, you
Right.
gave it away? It now owns that person's heart?
Oh, you're like, hey.
I mean, I get the gist of it, but,
Yeah.
like, we're talking, like,
How did you give it away? Who'd you give it to?
yeah,
This
why? I gave it to you.
This is not like Secret Santa at the office party. You can't just give it to the next guy.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah,
I give it to you.
right.
What happened?
It's not gift swap time.
Yeah, it's like, what did they call that? The white elephant?
Yeah, why? Yeah.
No.
No, we're not doing that.
That's not how it works.
Yeah. I had a boner and I gave you my heart,
Yeah.
and then you just gave it away.
And in return, I got blue balls. Like, what's that?
Yeah,
That's
there's nothing good about that.
no, that's not how we were exchanging.
Yeah.
I didn't even unwrap it.
Yeah. But, my wife and I were joking around because we'll listen to a lot of Christmas tunes in the car when we're out running errands and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, we should do our own Christmas, like, album. But
Great
it's just
album.
just fuck up all the classics with, like, the shittiest lyrics.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's the same song, just the lyrics are, like, horrible.
Oh yeah, yeah,
For,
yeah. Yeah.
like shitmas,
Mm-hmm.
using the word shitmas and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So, I don't know. We just think it's funny. We just laugh.
So you guys will riff with each other
Oh, yeah, all the time.
off the wall Christmas lyric songs.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, she'll sing along, but then we'll get in a dirty mood, and then next thing you know, it's all fucking sideways.
I'm decking my balls with all this tinsel upon your festive chin.
Yeah,
Mm,
pretty much.
you're busy making cookies and I'm frosting them.
It's white.
It's white.
It's a white Christmas.
All over your face. Sorry, kids.
Don't listen to that
God
part.
damn, you should have skipped that part. Erase that one from your mind.
Warning.
Yeah, danger. Sorry, too late.
Content warning.
Yeah. And if you made it that fast, that far,
Fast.
fast and far,
Yeah.
it was Sad Dads Club Podcast, episode 221?
221.
221.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, we got
You
it.
nailed it. I think.
Yeah.
So it's a busy time of the year. Are
Not-
you feel busy? I feel like I
So-
feel like we have plenty of time to lounge around most of the time, but then the Christmas time when it's like time to lounge around with your family,
Yeah.
you're busy.
This one felt weird. So I've been on PTO for since the 9th.
Yeah.
And
So I assume that changes stuff.
it changes
Changes like your outlook and your availability and your busyness.
So here's the struggle with that. So the first week I was off, I had my list of all right, here's my catch ups. And
what about your mustards?
Yeah, and the mayos. White Christmas indeed. I knocked through most of the stuff. I was like, oh, okay, fine.
Like first hour of the first day?
Yeah, it's like
all
done. Oh, it's not a green waste week. No, I'm not going to worry about that. I'll put it next week. And then it got to a point like I think Piper was then off out of school.
Uh-huh.
But she was sleeping in. So it was like I couldn't get up early and start stuff because I didn't want to wake her up.
Hey, man.
And then...
Hey, there's no rule. There's no city ordinance that says you can't.
I know. And that's it's a total me thing.
Right.
So then I would kind of like sit around and wait because maybe she would want to go to the gym with me. So then I would like end up in this kind of like stall where I like, well... if I do this, then the dog will start getting agitated because I'm going to be going in and out. And the things that I wanted to do in the garage would, her wall shares a thing with the garage, and I'd be making lots of noise. And so my own courteousness put me into like a stall for like a good chunk of that first week to where I didn't feel like I was, one, I wasn't really resting. Two, I wasn't really productive because I was kind of like, I was self-containing myself because I didn't want to wake someone up, or I didn't want to leave and the dogs, and then that would be an issue or something. So I'm like, fuck. And Venus said, I told Venus, I'm like, I don't know if I feel like I'm getting what I wanted to get out of taking the time off. I'm done shopping.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to really go anywhere and do any errands. I could have gone out. A couple days I went out and did some distance ingress stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually had huge plans to do a lot further and more daily stuff, and it just didn't happen. I'm like, well, I don't want to really go out there because over here, and then there's someone's got deliveries coming, and I don't want the dogs to go ape shit. And I'm like, I feel like I didn't get. And he says like, you just go, just go. And I went, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've hamstrung myself like that on occasion.
Yeah, and I thought I would sleep in because I've been working hard, 6-day weeks easy for a lot, and it's a lot of work. And I thought, man, I would really sleep in a couple days, and that hasn't happened either. Like I've got like an internal clock that's kicking off either regardless. With alarm or not, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't necessarily get the rest that I thought I was going to get, and I didn't necessarily, I blew half the PTO on productivity because I didn't really, and fuck, now we're at the tail end of it, and it wasn't until Venus was like, you just need to just do the things.
Yeah,
I'm like, fine. This week has been.
Do it.
Alternative. Like I had some stuff for fitness stuff that I wanted to like schedule out and plan or some of the long distance ingress stuff got calved off because I'm like, well, I don't really need to. And there were some yard work stuff that I got ahead. Some of my extracurricular like knowledge stuff that I wanted to do, like for the show. I wanted to do some deep dive Final Cut stuff and like get ahead on some like work things that like really interest me. Some Raspberry Pi things. I've run out of time. Like, shit.
You always have. I feel like I have next week off.
Yeah.
So starting after tomorrow, I'll be off through New Year's just after New Year's, and I just don't plan stuff for myself because I know that it's a situation where like if I plan stuff, it won't happen. Then I'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Shit. Well, I wanted to do this and this, and I just never got to it, or I chose not to for X, Y, and Z, or whatever the fucking reason is.
Right. Yeah.
And so I tend not to plan stuff, and I just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm like, shit. what a waste.
Yeah.
But, I'm here. I'm taking time off my daughter's home from school.
Is she going to be gone home all next week too then?
Yeah, she's going back right after New Year's.
Oh,
I
okay.
think is it day after New Year's, I want to say she flies home.
Really?
Yeah.
The 2nd? Like a Monday?
I think so. Or is it Tuesday? I don't know.
3rd? I think.
Oh, no, Monday?
I think the 2nd is a Monday.
I don't know.
I think.
You're asking all the tough questions.
I know. Yeah, shit.
I want to say it's the day after New Year's Day. So Monday. Yeah. Because I think they have Monday off, so that she flies home Monday and they just start right back into school on Tuesday.
Full tilt boogie.
Yep. No rest for them. So yeah. But we picked her up from the airport, and on the way home, I was telling you earlier, it was like she got some text message or something from somebody that she knows in town, and it was like, "Oh, are you going to the Squish meet tomorrow?" And like, we haven't even gotten home from the airport. We're in the car driving home.
Yeah.
And she's like, "So-and-so asking about, I don't know." And next thing you know, we're going to a Squish meet in Vacaville.
Are those
boring?
Just money-making adventures?
They can be.
Can they?
We went to another one, the same place, months ago in the summertime.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people there, like, swapping and buying and blah, blah, blah.
Cash exchanging hands and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one, I think because it was cold, wintertime, right before Christmas, name your problem.
Right.
There were a few people around, but nothing like the last one.
Like, what is few? 20?
No.
15?
No.
10?
I mean, there might have been 10 or less, I would say.
That's a long way to go for 10 people.
Well, you don't know.
Oh.
And the thing of it is she's got literally, you saw the picture. Those were all things she was willing to, like, get rid of or sell.
Oh, okay.
So her collection is quite large. And
as a content creator, I'm sure that was an opportunity, though, as well. It's like she could double dip the actual event.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if she did. I don't know if she made any Instagram. I assume she had Instagram posts or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if she made any TikTok. But she's also, actually, that's where she's at now, is doing some promotional thing with a company, some retailer that's at Arden Fair.
Oh, really?
She's doing a video and in store today.
Oh.
And then her payment, I guess, for that is $100 in
Squish gift card
in merchandise
credit
for the store. Yeah. I mean, she's been paid cash for other stuff.
Yeah.
She's making a couple videos for a company that does Squishmallow luggage.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So she's actually getting money out of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does she still have that contract with the?
Yes, the Squish Ambassador thing.
Yes.
Yeah, she's still doing that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But she gets, so what happens is, I believe the people from Kelly Toys, who is the maker of Squishmallows, because she's an ambassador, they take companies that partner with them to make like licensed products.
Right.
And they say, oh, if you are interested in doing any social media type posts, here's our people. And Melly's one of those people they'll send you to.
Oh.
And then, I assume they'll like look at her social stuff and go, oh yeah, we like her content. Let's have her do some stuff. And then they'll DM her or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's how that works, basically. So there's been several of those.
I slide into your DMs and offer you a sponsorship opportunity.
It's wild to see how that happens, to be honest. I mean, I would have never expected Melanie of all people, because she was always like super shy, like wouldn't even ask the waiter for fucking ketchup, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of wild for my wife and I to see that aspect of her, and then also the fact that she's got 180,000 followers on TikTok or whatever it is now. So that's weird to me.
Yes.
That's weird. and then have her still be like, I don't want to. She had to do part of the luggage thing. She had to go to Walmart and like record a bunch of stuff. And it's busy Christmas shopping.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and there's tons of people running around while she's trying to record
Oh, yeah.
things. And she's like embarrassed.
Oh, yeah. I know that feeling.
Oh, yeah. I know
Thomas,
you do. Yeah.
Thomas knows. And
Yeah.
there was...
So it's not lost on someone like her who is, that's a thing that she does.
I was at McBean, Lincoln.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around old downtown by the beer. What was the Beerman's
Yep.
brewery?
Yeah.
Plaza, Beerman's Plaza, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That old part of Lincoln.
Yep.
They've got like old mom and pop fronted stores, like knickknacks, novelties,
Right.
tiny things, like think ye old west Nevada City stuff, but you know.
Yeah.
And I'm walking around killing portals and picking up stuff, and it's the middle of the day, midweek, so the foot traffic isn't a lot, but there's a
People around.
a handful of people.
Yeah.
There is a corner shop with Christmas goodies and stuff, and they have probably a 4-foot tall Grinch singing "You're a mean one,
Okay.
Mr. Grinch,"
Like a mechanical kind
Yeah.
of thing.
You can jizz. No, see, on my face. And I'm walking by, and I can hear the song in the background, but I'm not really paying attention because I'm in ingress mode and I'm picking up shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear this, no, and I like look around and I see, and so it's mechanical, so it's like wiggling its hips, and I didn't really have arm movement,
Yeah.
but the jaw had like the typical, and then the mean one, Mr. Grinch song, and I'm looking at it now. I'd already in the middle of the McBean Park recorded a Thomas the Thomas, so I was kind of sort of like, oh, and I'm looking, and I see this Grinch, and I'm like, oh, I could do, and he could be my friend, and so I'm at this corner. And I've got my phone out. This is exactly like the fucking Rayleigh's parking lot. And I've got my phone out, and I'm in the thing. And I'm like, hello. This is... Stop. As like a group of adults start walking past. And it's a Grinch. So everyone sees this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's attracting their
there's
attention.
no way they did not see for that split second my arm out. And, like, either I'm taking a selfie with it or they heard me trying to take a video of me with the Grinch.
I mean, you could just be on FaceTime. They don't know.
Right. So then they turn the corner and they walk past, and I kind of like, oh, well, fuck, how do I get out of this one? So I kind of make, like, a 3-step past the Grinch,
Yeah.
and then I, like, look both ways.
But also, part of that is you're changing your voice, right?
Yeah, I alter it a little bit,
Yeah.
yes.
So
So
there's a little bit of that.
Right. So I'm doing a character, and then the Snapchat thing tweaks it even further.
Right.
So then I take my 3 steps, and I turn. I'm clear. I'm clear. I turn around, and then I whip through. Hello, this is Thomas the Thomas, and with my new friend. Oh my God, it's so loud right now. It's super fucking. And I don't think I've posted it yet, but it was embarrassing as fuck because those adults like caught me. Like, oh shit, God damn it, I'm a grown ass man. Anyway,
But you know the thing
and I'm
of it
out
is-
here playing Portals. Fucking give me your gear.
Right. But the thing of it is if they saw probably that post or any of your Thomas the Thomas posts, they would think it was funny.
Oh, probably. Well, I would hope.
So then, if you consider that, they just don't know, right?
Right.
But if they did, they would think it was. Oh my gosh, he's making one of those.
Right. There's the potential.
Right.
That.
Yeah.
Or the kids playing baseball while I'm standing out in the middle of a field, like doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is how your weather report. It's nice.
Yeah.
What? Hey, are you that guy? Yes, perhaps I am.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it strikes I think it strikes everybody to a certain extent.
It's the weirdest thing because,
Yeah.
that's not me being out in public but doing that thing. So I feel her.
I see, when I'm in public, I just want to disappear.
Right.
I don't want any attention drawn to myself.
Right. But some things are worth the joke, like a singing Grinch that's 4 feet tall. You're like, shit.
So does it also put the filter on the Grinch?
No, you can hear it. Oh, the actual glasses?
Yeah.
I did not put him in enough of the frame to see if it would swap.
Okay.
And I don't know, because I've thought a couple times, like, to swip it really fast to see if I could catch, like, Venus or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I don't want it. I don't want it to change and see normal face.
Right.
I want it to, and I don't think it's that fast.
No, you will get normal face a bit.
What did I? It did it to a stuffed animal. I can't remember what I turned it to. It might have been one of the Grogu.
Well, so it'll do the dogs sometimes too.
Will it?
Yeah. Yeah, we've had Max Shan'll do Max, and it'll do.
Really?
Yeah, I think maybe it depends on
at
the
least
filter.
the eyes. It'll pull the eyes.
I mean, it does the whole thing. It does the whole filter, whatever the filter
I'll
is.
be goddamn, dude! I'm gonna
Yeah.
totally point one of those things at Jax and see what happens.
Yeah, that's not unheard of. So,
That's crazy. I have
all right.
a story that I haven't led you behind the curtain of.
I have no knowledge of
You
this.
have no knowledge of this.
All right.
Lug nuts.
Yes. Did you lose them?
No. So when I installed my aftermarket allegedly installed, because I would not vent any gases
No.
to the atmosphere in the
No.
state of California. But if I had, it has an adjustment. And when I may have installed it, I may have let the spring be a little too light, so sometimes I get a little bit of a boost leak.
Oh, okay.
On the RS, in order to adjust said blow-off valve, really you need to remove the front passenger tire because it's right there in the wheel well.
Oh, okay.
The engine is right
It's buried.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
Easily get to from the right wheel well, but best to get the tire off. So somewhere the first couple days of PTO, I'm like, I need to tighten that thing because I don't want to hear it leaking, and then if I goose the throttle, it'll snap itself shut. And
Would it throw a code or something?
No,
Oh.
it's that I can hear it. The spring wasn't tight enough,
So I mean, you're spooling up, but not getting all your boost.
right.
Yeah.
Unless I stab the throttle,
Mm-hmm.
then it
For a quick.
right, and
Yeah.
then it shuts, and then I get all the boost I want until I let off, and then. But if I'm in sixth at cruising cruising speed, and I'm just kind of like feathering the throttle or in a cruise control,
It's not enough to keep it closed.
it's not enough to keep it closed. So
Yeah.
it'll sound like a until I goose it, and then it, and then I get. So I'm going to tighten the spring.
Mm-hmm.
The RS came with a one locking lug nut on each wheel and the key.
Mm-hmm.
In trying to remove, I don't know what Hulk episode I was struggling with when I put the tires, the summer tire, the winter tires on.
Uh-huh.
But apparently, I was on something like 3 bangs or something, and I gave it too much juice. So I'm working my wrench, and the key that goes on the lug nut,
Mm-hmm.
it spun. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I wasn't fully seated.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull it off, wiggle it on there, but it doesn't feel like it's seating all the way anymore. Well, what the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm. I think I know
Pull
where
off.
you're headed.
Look at it. Well, it looks fine, but it's not seating. I give it, and it just full on strips out. What the hell's going on here? Pull it off, and the way that Ford's locking lug nut key is, it's a collar of alloy that has on the outside, it's like a reverse key. It has nubs on it, and the locking key fits over all of these nubs, and then it turns it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are numbers that have like I think Volkswagens have like an insert where it's like a reverse cookie cutter,
Mm-hmm.
and it fits inside the nut.
Mm-hmm.
Ford's the key is all on the outside. So think like if you're looking at like a chocolate chip cookie,
Mm-hmm.
the way that Ford creates their lock, it's the edge of your cookie has like bumps instead of something that fits inside the cookie.
Right.
So the collar of the key has stripped out, and it's a very thin walled because the way that it fits over the entire.
So not the lug nut itself, but
not the lug nut
okay.
itself, but the key that works on all 4 of the lug nuts on this car.
Mm-hmm.
The key itself, the wall of it is very fucking thin. I've had my car 5, it's probably at this point 6 years old, given manufacturing and all that stuff. But I don't really take the wheels on and off all that often. But here, the wall of the key cracked on the weakest point, so it essentially is like a fingernail. It just kind of started to peel away at the part that holds the lock, the ridges that represent the security part of the thing.
Oof.
Holy fuck, what? So I try to tap it back in. Oh, okay, we're still a circle.
Super glue.
And yeah, right, JB Weld. And I tap it back into place because I think in the first go I had oblonged the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why it wasn't fitting. So I got out a small ball peen hammer, and I'm tapping what looks like was just a superficial crack. Like, I can see what's going wrong here. Like, part of it is just it's peeling. It's peeling away.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that might be. So I get it radiused back out. It then fits dead nuts. Okay, cool. Put it back on there. Like, I really just need this one to come off, and then it cracks even more. And now it's essentially like when you hit a fingernail and it's like just straight up like creates a chip.
Mm-hmm.
So I call up Argonaut. I'm like, hey, I need you, if you have it, your welder. I just need 2 tacks.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put this, because it hadn't come all the way off. It was like just dangling. I'm
Right.
like, I'll re-round this, and if I can come over and you can just tack spot. Now I just need I need this to work 4 times, and that's it. Because now I'm in danger of. So I go over to his house, 2 times, done. Sweet. A little bit of slag, but I spent a good 2 hours. Like, oh man, I'm dialing this fucker in with a Dremel and small files. It fits back into my key.
Mm-hmm.
Fits back on the lug nut. Perfect. Wrench out. It peels in another spot. So
Is it chrome? The lock or the key? Oh.
So it then essentially chips and pulls away in 2 different spots.
That is really cheap looking.
Yes, it is. Oh, you can't convince me otherwise that it's a high-quality piece of alloy. So now I'm in a position where the repair that Jason did, while it held, it fell apart in the second spot. So now I'm like, okay, well, if the rest of this is okay, if I can just remove the weakness part that also had key nubs in it, so that it just fits over the parts that it will continue to fit on, but it was now so warped that it wouldn't fit on the lug nut at all.
A couple of things about that. That is very thin-walled. Much thinner than I was expecting.
Yes.
And those little nubs are not very big.
No, they are not.
I mean, I get that they will latch on to the lug nut, but if you took your car to a shop and they just happen to over tighten the bolts, which happens all the fucking time.
Yes, my dad's Fusion is
you're screwed.
got a problem. Like the next person that does his back driver's side wheel is gonna probably
Break a stud.
sell him some lug nuts. Anyway, so thanks to Jason for giving it a shot. It did not work. So now I'm in a place where I am concerned because I have started playing Ingress more, and anyone who's played Ingress knows all of the pitfalls about pulling up in gutters and nails and driving in potholes, and it was raining that second couple weeks when this was an issue. I'm like, I can't be caught out
and not be able to get your wheels
and not
off.
be able to get my fucking wheels off.
Yeah.
One, that's a danger. Two, it's going to cost me through the nose to have someone try and pull this off in an emergency situation. I would be hosed.
Are those keys the same? Like if they sell a set of locks, are they the same through all of them?
No.
So
it's registered. If your dealership did it, I would have had a card in my glove box with my manual that would have the number-coded registration of this key.
And then you could order a key.
And then I could order one. 30 to 60 days. Problematic for me because I'm still in the situation where I drive my car and I don't want to pay... So, how can I solve this problem? Oh, the internet and the YouTubes. If you're ever have a Ford with this type of lug nut, you are not going to smack a 12 spline socket over the lug nut. It's not going to work. There is a company in the UK that sells a locking lug nut remover kit. And let me tell you, the rabbit hole that I went down about the complete waste of money and time that it is to put locking wheel nuts on your car. Any type of locking wheel nuts.
Hey, those are working though.
Yeah. Yeah, when they break, dude, you're going to have a fucking problem.
Those are working.
It reminded me a lot of like, hey man, if you leave something in your car, a duffel bag, an expensive piece of something, a computer, your wallet, something that is visible on a seat, and you have a car alarm, that ain't going to do shit.
No.
Like, if a thief wants something, they're going to get it.
I just watched the Mark Rober...
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, there's a part of that video where a thief goes up to a car.
Yeah.
And he, like, peeks in the back window.
Yeah.
And then he's wearing like gloves, and all he does is like barely touch the glass, and it pops. I mean, he's barely touches, so he's got, you know how they make
like
those...
It's like a vibrating something, doesn't
I don't even think it vibrates. I think it just has a point built into the palm of the glove, and he just presses, and it just...
Oh, okay.
So that wouldn't make an alarm go off. There was no... You know, you've seen people with sledgehammers hitting glass windows, and they don't break, but he's got something in the palm of his glove that's sharp enough that he just barely presses on it and it pops. And he does it to two windows like super quick. I mean,
yeah,
that's not going to do, your alarm is not going to do anything. They're not even opening the door.
Yeah. And having Ring cameras with the alerts and a lot of it is security theater, and I get it. But in the amount of time, it was like, well, locking lug nuts. I've got that. And I think the Explorer has some. Emily's Jeep has some. My dad's car doesn't. But it's like, there is a concept of safety in like, oh, well, it's a locking lug nut. Well, of course. The speed in which some of these repair services that I was down the rabbit hole over in the UK, in which, like someone that has tried to smash the same kind of issue, happens a lot with apparently BMWs and Volkswagens. Their proprietary locking mechanism is prone to VWs that insert key method tends to strip out or warble out over time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't remember what BMW's is. Like, I think the key, the ridges themselves actually have a tendency to break off. Cheap alloy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get these DIYers that are like, oh, I saw on the internet if I just take an impact socket that's just a little bit bigger and just hammer the fucker on, and then I could torque it off. And you see these wheels that are absolutely just destroyed and marred at the lug nut inset.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or people that try and tack weld inside the lug nut hole like a nut, so that they can then try and pull the lug nut off with that. So you get this scoring and marring of a MIG welder, like fucking all over these alloy wheels. And so there's a company in the UK that sells, that's part of like whatever the roadside service team is that goes around the UK that like makes sure that, anyway.
The AAA of UK?
Oh, yeah, one of those things. It is a set of, it's like these real hard carbide bits that fit. Oh, this happened too. So this is what it looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my lug nut, right? So the ridge here, and it's got like a protective thing. This ended up busting off. So I was left with this.
Oh, wow.
So there's nothing left. Okay. And this little cap is really meant to break off. It's only on there by a little bit, so that way you can't put a socket over that part and try and remove the lug nut. It's meant to bust off, right? So
I've never seen a lock like this.
It's ass. And I hope you never do.
I mean, the lock part seems okay. Just the key part's the shit.
Right.
I mean, you wouldn't have had a problem with this necessarily if the key held up.
If the key was strong. Sure. Yes. So now they sell what looks like a modified impact socket with 2 sharpened carbide teeth on it. You take like a 3 or 5 pound sledge and you hammer this bit over the remaining chunk of the lug nut that's stuck in there. Then once it's in and like holding itself, because you've essentially crushed the collar here.
You're destroying it to get it off.
Yeah, you put on something that's essentially just pillaging the alloy. Then there's an impact driver that essentially is like a manual Milwaukee half-inch. That's built like a chisel. So that you take the same 5-pound thing and you just start slamming and then turning it. Slam, turn. Thing came off in like 5 minutes.
So you ordered it.
I ordered it.
And it got here that quick.
And it got here 10 days. Yeah.
And that was what, yesterday? Today?
Yesterday.
Wow.
Yes.
I had I had locks on the Civic. And it was one of those aftermarket locks. They came from the dealer. The dealer put them on, but they're not Honda necessarily. But it was the one that has like the pattern inside on the face. Yeah. And then the key has that same pattern that's the opposite. It just never really had any problems with it. But, I didn't have it in a situation where anything was over torqued. Do you have a torque wrench?
Yes, but I don't remember how I tighten those. I know exactly.
Apparently with your Hulk muscles.
Yeah, apparently I went too hard. Maybe I was fucking around with my 3/8 impact and I just gave it the business and thought, oh yeah, because it's 100 foot-pounds, and clearly I fucked up, or because I pulled the rest of the lug nuts off fine, but the locking one, perhaps. 1, I over torqued it. 2, the alloy gave way.
I mean, I assume that the problem here is the key.
I'm gonna hope so. Yeah.
Even if you were over torqued a little, 20 pounds or something, you're not going to be. That shouldn't be beyond
it just full on just.
Yeah, that shouldn't be beyond the key /tools ability to get the thing off.
I would think not.
Looking at it, it's pretty.
But the whole,
chintzy.
I'm like, man, it was like once I saw down the, anyway, so the kit too, so the kind that lug nut key that you're talking about, so it has the same kind of bit that worked for Fords, works for Jaguars, and then they have these other types that work for yours that you were talking about, but it's a the bit it's like a one-time shot thing. It's it's once per lug nut kind of thing. So what it does is it's a harder alloy than whatever they're making the lug nuts out of, and it actually digs into that ridged or raised recess key of the lug nut itself, and it buries itself into that and like starts to spread it out, and then you put your impact on and spin it off that way. So Ford's it's like almost like a Forstner bit where it just goes around the fringe, and other lug nuts it's like a almost like a hole punch where it punches into the meat of the lug nut, and then you twist it off.
Interesting.
Fascinating world of lug nuts.
Right.
And then it was like, and then the whole like, one, I'm frustrated because where's the registration for my I'd never even thought about it. I never even thought about it. Like, well,
did you do the thing with the? You're not going to be asking that when you get your car.
And then it was, the length of time it was going to take to get here, and I'm sure that probably would have been doubled because COVID or whatever. And then parts shortages. Right. And then the one tool that actually across the board that I found worked 100% in every review and in any article that I pulled up was from the UK. It is not made in the United States. And the only reason I can imagine that's the case is because if everyone had this fucking tool, I would have all of your wheels. Because it's that easy. It took me less than 3 minutes.
Wow.
To bang, bang, bang. Am I doing this hard? Pull up a YouTube thing. You need to hit it until the bit will sit inside the lug nut well by itself. I'm like, oh, okay. So I wasn't really hitting it that hard. And yeah. If you think you're not hitting it hard enough,
hit it harder.
Hit it harder. And I'm like, okay, I'm wailing on this.
Well, knowing also that this wheel's got to come off.
Right, the wheel has to come off.
Yeah.
Like now the key is busted. The lug nut is definitely trashed because the little cap came off. So now it's fucked.
Right.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
And now I have to figure out a solution for the other 3 lug nuts. I'm like, I can't stop here. Now I know that this is a problem, and I have no key. And I really need to tighten the spring on that blow-off valve.
So you still didn't get to that?
Well, when it initially happened, I just made it work by snaking my arm up in there and turning it a couple times. I didn't get it to the tightness that I wanted it, but it was tighter than before. Well, I'm not fucking craning in here, and the whole busted lug nut thing was in my mind, and I'm like, I can't let this go. I need to solve this problem. And now I'm worried about, how far do I really want to drive if I go out into the country? And do I... fuck. So...
Yeah. That's stressful.
Yeah. And then the whole lug nuts.
So are you buying a whole new set of lugs?
I did. I bought a all nice black set. No locking lug nuts. Fuck the sun, long live the beast. And I've replaced all the lug nuts minus so I have 3 locking lug nuts left. Luckily for me, the bit used to remove the Ford locking keys is not a one shot per lug nut, so I can reuse that on the other 3 lug nuts. It's just,
and no one's ever going to get those off.
Right. There's
no key.
There's no key. So before I rotate out, to summer tires, it's not like I need tires this season anyway. So when I rotate out to summer tires for 3 more times, I'm going to be Paul Bunyaning on my wheel well and flat out fucking destroying lug nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So were all the other lug nuts also hulked on there, or were they?
I have not fucked with them.
Oh, you haven't.
No.
touched those.
Oh, you're talking about the normal. No, they weren't. And that's it. So I'm like, maybe
I think it was just the
it
key.
could have just been the key.
Yeah.
All the rest of the lug nuts. So I've got on all the tires minus the front passenger. Front passenger has 5 shiny black lug nuts. All the other
I
tires.
think you might as well just replace them all.
All the yeah.
Just do them all.
Yeah.
Get them all done. Because honestly, for me personally, it would bug me to know that I've got lug nuts that are different on one wheel.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, it'll bug me because it's still the same mentality. Like, well, I would be in a jam if
you had one of those tires have an issue.
Right, it's the same problem.
You're in the same situation.
It's just I didn't want to hulk out and destroy when I didn't have to. But you're right.
You're still in the same position.
The same boat.
Yeah, no matter what.
If I got a flat in front left, back right, I would be in fuck city.
Yeah.
You'd
be like calling AAA and be like, well, I've got this remover.
Yeah, if you could take me back to my house.
Here's my key. You'd be sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
I need a 5-pound sledge.
I mean, I remember I was playing Ingress remember that one night I was playing Ingress out in like Sun City and got a flat tire. And then all of a sudden, I think it was you and Toast showed up to help me jack up the car or whatever.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
It was the Safeway over here on Wood Creek in Blue Oaks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we made penis jack up jokes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it happens.
Well, I mean,
And I think it was a situation where I had run over something in a
I can't. It was a flat. Did you actually have a flat?
Yeah, I went flat. I had to put the spare on.
What did you need us for? The jack.
I think you just ran out to help jack up the car, but I think by the time you got there, it already got it up there.
We were just like moral support.
Yeah, you were just to fuck with me.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, is that thing flat? You sure you tighten those up?
You should put air in it.
You
Jim.
should put air in it. You need that thing raised a little bit. I could do that. Why don't we put this under here and think about?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm using the scissor lift out of the trunk and doing this.
The quick row.
Yeah, yeah. Is it up high enough? No, keep going.
Keep going.
I had to do that a couple times. One time I got a flat coming home from work, and that little Best gas station there at the corner of Combi and 49. Yes. We stopped in there. Don and I were playing Ingress on the way home. Mm-hmm. Got a flat on McCourtney or whatever road is the other side of Combi. Wolf Road. So it started going flat, pulled into that gas station. And I said, "Hey, Don, while I'm doing this, changing the tire, because I think the spare needs some air, can you ask him to turn on the compressor?" And they wanted money.
You can't do that.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah. Fuckers.
Just lift up your shirt, Don. Give him some nick.
I joked about that. I'm like, didn't you just flash him or something?
Yeah.
You know?
I could use some air and also
I think what she actually said was, that's illegal. You can't ask for money. And he's like, what are you going to do? Kind of thing. And I don't remember how we got it turned on, but
911 have an emergency. Yes, a gas attendant is
refusing to
is dead. It looked like he was in an argument with someone about the compressor, and then he just died.
There's a compressor.
It looked like he was trying to drink gasoline, and then he died.
The compressor hose is shoved up his ass.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
The whole reel is up his ass. Yes, please come urgency. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Hurry.
I don't know. It happens, man.
You gonna turn it on? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's on. No, he ended up turning. I don't remember what that conversation was specifically, but it was something like, "That's not legal," or something. "What are you gonna do?" kind of a thing. And then I don't know. She gave him $1 or something.
Yeah.
But it turned on, and we were able to fill the tires.
I mean, it used to have money.
I will
a quarter, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll never go there for anything.
Yeah.
After that, fuck that guy.
That thing has changed hands.
Yeah.
More times than Wells Fargo has reorged.
Hey,
and
I
had
just-
CEOs.
I don't know if you noticed, but the Oak Furniture store there across the street from the Taco Tree at 49
Yes.
is finally out of business.
Oh yeah.
The one that says
Finally?
going out of business sale, the big banner up on
Yes.
the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's finally actually
Yeah.
out of business.
It's a rug store.
It was like that when I started working at AJA
Yeah.
for like
It's been some time.
16 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's finally
Wow. You guys finally sold out to the Tough Shed spot.
I mean, I assume that they were like doing drug running in the back or something. That's what was keeping the doors open. I don't know. I don't know how you
funny story.
going out of business sale for 16 or more
Right.
years. You
Right.
know?
Did you ever have in Auburn, Old Auburn, Sum's Mongolian barbecue?
Old Auburn.
So
Sums.
Sum's.
Is that in like Old Auburn? Not Old Auburn, but downtown Auburn.
Yes.
And it's at the corner, like
It was it's that crux.
that weird corner. Yeah,
Yes.
it was on the left.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been there. The kids from high school would come in there and just like load up big giant plates full. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was out of reach for us in high school, but when I worked at PC Solutions in Auburn with John and hashtag hey Grant. Grant knows exact Sums.
Yep.
Lunch, many dinners. It was like our Venus, our whole crew from like Grass Valley. God damn, love that place.
Yeah.
It was like, Jason, do my sauce. Like, oh fuck, god damn, huge portions, really nice people. Let you keep it to yourself. In my PTO time, I've made a couple sprints to play Ingress up in Auburn, and I've driven past. It's now a little bit more that intersection has been remodeled.
Yeah.
I would so say. So you can't really see it, the storefront, like you could when we were.
I was wondering if it was still there. Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone. And this conversation came up on Sunday when I said we were going to Sizzle because
Yes.
Because Venus is like, I want Mongolian barbecue. I'm like, let's go to Sizzle. The last time we tried to go to Sizzle, they're still on like COVID hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so they close relatively early, 7 p.m. on Sunday.
Dude, everywhere's like that now. It's
I know.
irritating as fuck.
So I'm like, oh man. So we're at Sizzle, and I'm like, man, it's funny that you would mention this because I was just thinking about when I was up. I'm like, man, this weekend we should go to Sums. And like, man, she's like, in her Venus's new job position, she did some training up in Auburn, and they told her that it's gone. They closed. They were doing the no-nos.
Which is what?
The tax fraud, embezzlement, something like bad juju.
Uh-huh.
They no-nos.
Wow.
Like they were cooking the books, or doing something, and they got in trouble. And so they're not there anymore.
Yikes.
Like, well, it was really good food though, so sorry.
I remember my first impression of a Mongolian barbecue place was like way back in the like early 90s. Worked for Pizzeria Classico, and they had a store near Sunrise Mall.
Yeah.
And worked at that store, and there was a Mongolian place across the parking lot. And so we went in there to like trade pizza for food, you know, for their stuff. And looking over the counter, and they had like almost like pallets on the floor, but underneath the pallets, there was fucking cat litter all over the floor.
Okay.
Like the floor was so greasy or something that they put cat litter down to absorb it, but that was pretty fucking gross. I mean, restaurants are not supposed to have cat litter on the floor with wooden planks that you walk that the service people walked on behind the counter.
Yeah.
That grossed us out, so we never went back.
The kids in front of us when we were at Sizzle on Sunday, there was like probably post high school, so young, probably Sierra College, William Jessup, summer, just out of college. These three fucktards are doing the thing that they take a bowl and heaping mound of just fucking noodles.
Right.
And then they go get their meat, and then they use another bowl to like squish down the meat. Now, I am not foreign to the taking the fist and
pressing it down
and squishing the frozen meat discs to put the rest of the stuff in. But I have never taken another bowl and had so much shit in it that I used the bowl as a like press to squish all that shit down.
Yeah.
And I have never made 2 bowls worth of shit because you take it up there and he's cooking 1 bowl at a time.
Right.
So, and part of the thing is that it all cooks together. The sauce, everything, it's 1 bowl of shit.
Yeah.
So if you have a bowl just of noodles cooking by itself, like what are you doing?
You're missing out on all the flavor. Built in that you're cooking into the noodles.
These 3 dipshits, all 3 of them are doing it. And my son is like, thank God for my son. He's like, these guys are idiots. And then the entire family is like side-eyeing these 3 dipshits.
Yeah. Which we would have been too.
So, like, really? And I know one of those motherfuckers, like, eye contacted me as I, like, gave him, like, the head tilt and the fatherly,
what the
like,
fuck are you doing?
You should be ashamed.
Yeah.
You don't return the card. I can smell that from here. You fucking ingrate.
Yeah.
3, so my whole entire family is on the same page that these are dipshits. 3, there is a sign. There is a sign that not only says 1 bowl at a time, come back, you cannot make 2 bowls at a time. It also says, do not use another bowl to smoosh down another bowl's contents. Like it says,
don't do it.
In perfect things, the 2 scenarios that both of them are doing, or all 3 of them are doing. So it's like, oh my God! How'd you get this far in life? You walked right past this fucking sign. 2, the bulk of the people behind you in line are all looking at you like
you're fucking idiots.
You're idiots.
Yeah, your parents did a shitty job.
You're all fucked up.
Yeah.
It's hashtag JetBlue.
Yeah. I have problems with the future.
Right. And then we're just like, Venus and I are just like, well, I fucking hope they get charged
extra
for 2 bowls for each of them. So 6 bowls between the 2. Man, if you're,
they're taking advantage.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of the attendants, there might be a language barrier there. And so I can taste the arrogance and the privilege on these 3 dudes that, I didn't know. They're going to, like, everyone who's probably listening knows this type of person. They're like oh man, I'm so sorry. I didn't, and they're going to try and apologize it away and lean on your propensity to just remove yourself from the conflict and don't do it next time, right? And like, you need to pay. You can, if you're that hungry, you're young bucks. Maybe you were up the hill snowboarding or skiing or whatever.
Isn't it all you can eat?
It is.
Come back
a second round, right? If I've learned anything this year, it is that if you actually eat responsibly and without like shoveling, you will actually eat less because you give your stomach and your body a chance to process, oh, hey, I'm hungry.
Right.
I'm not hungry anymore. Like, I have eaten enough and I'm good. And I'm going to And really, I think they're baking that into the price. Like, it's a little elevated. And then they give you a cup of soup and a cup of rice if you want it, a spring roll, and a wonton. Like, if you ate that full meal and you were still hungry, It's all you can eat. You come on back for another bowl, but you do need to punish it a bit because there's no to-go bowls, right?
Right.
So if you can actually eat 2 or 3 bowls, you're going to get your money's worth. Absolutely. You're paying for that. It's all you can eat. But it's not all you can eat in the first wave and taking 3-4 fucking bowls up there.
Right.
That's not how it works.
I hate that kind of shit.
I cannot. And then what it ended up being is that they ended up paying for 1 bowl for each of them that was a to-go bowl. So at least the attendants didn't let them get away with it. I didn't hear directly the conversation, but I could see that there's some, and I didn't see any haggling. It was just, matter of fact, it was like, okay, these 3 bowls are for eating here, and then these 3 are for to go. And then they paid, and they got them boxed, the 3 bowls. Like, well, then how do you separate that? You literally got a fucking bowl of noodles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you? Yeah, not my problem. But I hope you hit a flat tire on the way home. All 3 of you, little shits.
I hope your lug nuts are stuck.
Yeah, and don't call me because I have the tool. But
I remember Chandler. Speaking of lug nuts, on his Civic, I think he had some work done on it, maybe tires put on it at a shop, and they just wrenched all the tires down, all the lug nuts down. So when it came time, him and a buddy of his were gonna put coils or something on it. I forget.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't get the wheels off. They could not get the wheels off the car. They had to take it back to the shop. The shop was so apologetic that they had put their best guy on it, and he couldn't get them off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and what they offered them, what he offered Chandler was to install all of his stuff for him for free.
Oh, okay.
Which was nice of him. So they got all the wheels off and replaced whatever they needed to replace. I think maybe some wheel studs and lug nuts.
Nice.
But then also, because they were trying to get the wheels off to like put on suspension parts, they installed all the suspension parts for him.
No.
For free, which was cool. But it's like, what the fuck? You could not get them off with a breaker bar.
That's too much.
Like, I don't understand.
Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. But, you know. Yeah.
Fuck you. Stop.
And then do it again. Yeah. I mean, that's...
Yep, they're on there.
I'm surprised something didn't break.
Yeah. 100 foot-pounds.
Crazy.
Ford Focus RS, 100 foot-pound lug.
I think mine are 80.
Really?
Yeah. Are you four lugs? 5.
I got 5.
Okay.
Are you 4?
No, I'm 5.
Okay.
But
we're going to end on a good note.
Okay.
We're at time.
All
right. It was the holiday performance at Wood Creek.
Yeah.
I had my dad down, so it was the first time. The last time he was able to attend one was when Piper played.
Oh, wow.
We think it was her sophomore year, because then COVID didn't have one junior year. Didn't have one senior year. Or I don't think he came down for a senior year. So the last time my dad attended one was Piper, and he got to see Xander's freshman year. Amazing performance, as always. It's food for the soul. The surprise thing that I went to was Emily, who's you may have heard her. She's the one with the Jeep. She's also a good friend of Piper's. She is what I would characterize as a musical savant. She's very talented in multiple instruments and singing. Very talented young lady. She is doing a musical major path at Sac State. So I went to what would be Sac State's final for the Sacramento State Symphonic Orchestra.
Oh, that sounds fun.
If you have not, if you have a college in your area that has any sort of musical program and you enjoy music, I don't care if you like rap. I don't care if you like country. If you like music, get in touch or find a way to get in touch with your local colleges music program to see if they have any of these performances. One, the students and the instructors and the faculty will all enjoy your patronage and ticket prices because it all goes to the music and the arts programs. I guarantee you, will have the best ear candy known to man.
You're in for a treat.
Absolutely. There, obviously, at the college level, there were way more strings than there were here at the high school, local to us. So the presence and the gravity of the music and the pieces was, I'm not going to, better isn't fair, but it was more advanced in the notes and the presence and how everything came across. Let's see, I have my program here. They played in the Hall of a Mountain King. They played a piece by Franz Schubert. Oh, very advanced pieces. It's all orchestra stuff. There's no one who was singing. There was no guitars, nothing electronic. It was.
Jeez, man! Did you have your iPhone?
Yeah. When some of these strings came in like Hall of the Mountain King, man, I might just be sensitive to good musical performance, but it straight up dropped my jaw. It was so amazing to hear. I promise you, the next time they have one of these coming around, I got to get you and Shan to go.
Okay.
Like, it is so. I left with one of the. I mean, I've talked about going to the high school ones, and it always gives me the feels.
Right.
It always just brings a smile to my face.
Plus, your son's in there.
Right. My kids are in there.
Yeah.
This, even if I didn't know Emily, I am grateful to have gone because that one, it's an amazing program. You should always support the arts. But it was good stuff to hear. It was good.
What is her instrument that she is her?
She plays all of them.
I know, but
she prefers the viola.
Okay, is that what she was playing? Or does she play a couple different things?
She plays a couple. Violin, viola, piano.
At the.
Oh, I don't know all the ones that she plays in the. She was only playing this one specific one in this performance.
Okay.
The viola.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yes.
All right.
God, moving stuff. Yeah, if you find your college near you, I don't know if Sierra has our junior college, but if your state college or a university in your area has a musical arts program, man, look for these when the kids have finals and there's some sort of performance at the end, because it was limited amount of time, right? It took longer to drive down there than the length of the performance. It was about 25 to 35 minutes in length. There and back was longer. Worth it. Worth every penny. I would pay $8 a gallon in gas to do it. I would pay $12. It's a good experience.
I think that Sierra College's music program is a band they put together that's based on fish. The band. I don't know.
Real big fish? Or just fish with a PH?
PH fish.
There you go.
Anyway. Well, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Make sure you hug your family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell someone, or tell someone that, yeah.
Tell someone to fuck off.
Hey.
Just be like, fuck off.
It's one bowl.
Merry Christmas, bitch. It's one bowl.
One bowl, and happy holidays.
Yeah.
Return the cart.
Wash your hands.
Wash your ass.
Check your oil, Tony.
Wear the mask if you need to. Register to vote.
Make the call if you need it. Please.
And do the kindness.
And thanks for listening.
We'll catch you next week.
See ya.
Bye. Bye. One bowl. God damn. Just one fucking bowl. Little shits. Shit. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.